Chapter 24. When a man takes a wife and marries her, then it shall be, if she finds no favor in his eyes, because he has found some unseemly thing in her, that he shall write her a bill of divorce, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. When she has departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. If the latter husband hate her, and write her a bill of divorce, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, who took her to be his wife, her former husband, who sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife, after that she is defiled, for that is an abomination before the Lord. And you shall not cause the land to sin, which the Lord your God gives you for an inheritance. When a man takes a new wife, he shall not go out in the host, neither shall he be charged with any business. He shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer his wife whom he has taken. No man shall take the mill or the upper millstone to pledge, for he takes a man's life to pledge. If a man be found stealing any of his brothers of the children of Israel, and he deal with him as a slave, or sells him, then that thief shall die. So shall you put away the evil from the midst of you. Take heed in the plague of leprosy, that you observe diligently, and do according to all that the priests the Levites shall teach you, as I commanded them, so shall you observe to do. Remember what the Lord your God did to Miriam, by the way as you came forth out of Egypt. When you do lend to your neighbor any manner of loan, you shall not go into his house to get his pledge. You shall stand outside, and the man to whom you do lend shall bring forth the pledge outside to you. If he is a poor man, you shall not sleep with his pledge. You shall surely restore to him the pledge when the sun goes down, that he may sleep in his garment and bless you, and it shall be righteousness to you before the Lord your God. You shall not oppress a hired servant who is poor and needy, whether he be of your brothers, or of your foreigners who are in your land within your gates. In his day you shall give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down on it, for he is poor, and sets his heart on it, lest he cry against you to the Lord, and it be sin to you. The fathers shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. You shall not wrest the justice to the foreigner, or to the fatherless, nor take the widow's clothing to pledge. But you shall remember that you were a bondservant in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you there. Therefore I command you to do this thing. When you reap your harvest in your field, and have forgot a sheaf in the field, you shall not go again to get it. It shall be for the foreigner, for the fatherless, and for the widow, that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hands. When you beat your olive tree, you shall not go over the boughs again. It shall be for the foreigner, for the fatherless, and for the widow. When you gather the grapes of your vineyard, you shall not glean it after you. It shall be for the foreigner, for the fatherless, and for the widow. You shall remember that you were a bondservant in the land of Egypt. Therefore I command you to do this thing. Psalm 114. When Israel went forth out of Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people of foreign language, Judah became his sanctuary, Israel his dominion. The sea saw it and fled, the Jordan was driven back, the mountains skipped like rams, the little hills like lambs. What was it, you sea, that you fled, you Jordan, that you turned back, you mountains, that you skipped like rams, you little hills like lambs? Tremble, you earth, at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the God of Jacob, who turned the rock into a pool of water, the flint into a spring of waters. Psalm 115. Not to us, Yahweh, not to us, but to your name give glory, for your loving kindness and for your truth's sake. Why should the nations say, where is their God now? But our God is in the heavens. He does whatever he pleases. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they don't speak. They have eyes, but they don't see. They have ears, but they don't hear. They have noses, but they don't smell. They have hands, but they don't feel. They have feet, but they don't walk. Neither do they speak through their throat. Those who make them will be like them, yes, everyone who trusts in them. Israel, trust in Yahweh. He is their help and their shield. House of Aaron, trust in Yahweh. He is their help and their shield. You who fear Yahweh, trust in Yahweh. He is their help and their shield. Yahweh remembers us. He will bless us. He will bless the house of Israel. He will bless the house of Aaron. He will bless those who fear Yahweh, both small and great. May Yahweh increase you more and more, you and your children. Blessed are you by Yahweh, who made heaven and earth. The heavens are the heavens of Yahweh, but the earth he has given to the children of men. The dead don't praise Yah, neither any who go down into silence. But we will bless Yah from this time forth and forevermore. Praise Yah. Chapter 51. Listen to me, you who follow after righteousness, you who seek the Lord. Look to the rock whence you were hewn, and to the hold of the pit which you were dug. Look to Abraham your father, and to Sarah who bore you. For when he was but one I called him, and I blessed him and made him many. For the Lord has comforted Zion. He has comforted all her waste places, and made her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving, and the voice of melody. Attend to me, my people, and give ear to me, my nation, for a law shall go forth from me, and I will establish my justice for a light of the peoples. My righteousness is near, my salvation is gone forth, and my arm shall judge the peoples. The isle shall wait for me, and on my arm shall they trust. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look on the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and those who dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. Listen to me, you who know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. Don't you fear the reproach of men, neither be you dismayed at their insults. For the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation to all generations. Awake, awake, put on strength, arm of the Lord. Awake as in the days of old, the generations of ancient times. Isn't it you who did cut Rahab in pieces, who pierced the monster? Isn't it you who dried up the sea, the waters of the great deep, who made the depths of the sea a way for the redeemed to pass over? The ransomed of the Lord shall return, and come with singing to Zion, and everlasting joy shall be on their heads. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. I, even I, am he who comforts you. Who are you that you are afraid of man who shall die, and of the Son of Man who shall be made as grass, and have forgotten the Lord your Maker, who stretched forth the heavens, and laid the foundations of the earth, and fear continually all the day because of the fury of the oppressor, when he makes ready to destroy? And where is the fury of the oppressor? The captive exile shall speedily be freed, and he shall not die and go down into the pit, neither shall his bread fail. For I am the Lord your God, who stirs up the sea, so that the waves of it roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. I have put my words in your mouth, and have covered you in the shadow of my hand, that I may plant the heavens, and lay the foundations of the earth, and tell Zion, you are my people. Awake, awake, stand up, Jerusalem. that have drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his wrath. You have drunken the bowl of the cup of staggering and drained it. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she has brought forth, neither is there anyone who takes her by the hands among the sons she has brought up. These two things have happened to you. Who will bemoan you? Desolation and destruction, and the famine and the sword. How shall I comfort you? Your sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, as an antelope in a net. They are full of the wrath of the Lord, the rebuke of your God. Therefore hear now this, you afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Thus says the Lord God, who pleads the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of your hand the cup of staggering, even the bowl of the cup of my wrath. You shall no more drink it again. And I will put it into the hand of those who afflict you, who have said to your soul, Bow down, that we may go over. And you have laid your back as the ground and as the street to those who go over.
I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth have passed away, and the sea is no more. I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, made ready like a bride adorned for her husband. I heard a loud voice out of heaven saying, Behold, God's dwelling is with people, and he will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away from them every tear from their eyes. Death will be no more, neither will there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more. The first things have passed away. He who sits on the throne said, Behold, I am making all things new. He said, Write, for these words of God are faithful and true. He said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give freely to him who is thirsty from the spring of the water of life. He who overcomes, I will give him these things. I will be his God, and he will be my son. But for the cowardly, unbelieving, sinners, abominable, murderers, sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their part is in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death. One of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls, who were laden with the 7 last plagues, came, and he spoke with me, saying, Come here, I will show you the wife, the Lamb's bride. He carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the holy city, Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, having the glory of God. Her light was like a most precious stone, as if it was a jasper stone, clear as crystal, having a great and high wall, having 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written on them, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east were 3 gates, and on the north 3 gates, and on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. The wall of the city had 12 foundations, and on them 12 names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. He who spoke with me had for a measure a golden reed, to measure the city, its gates, and its walls. The city lies 4 square, and its length is as great as its breadth. He measured the city with the reed, 12,012 stadia. Its length, breadth, and height are equal. Its wall is 144 cubits, by the measure of a man, that is, of an angel. The construction of its wall was jasper. The city was gold like pure glass. The foundations of the city's wall were adorned with all kinds of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, the fourth emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the 7th chrysolite, the 8th beryl, the 9th topaz, the 10th chrysoprasus, the 11th jacinth, and the 12th amethyst. The 12 gates were 12 pearls. Each one of the gates was made of 1 pearl. The street of the city was pure gold, like transparent glass. I saw no temple in it, for the Lord God, the Almighty, and the Lamb are its temple. The city has no need for the sun, neither of the moon to shine, for the very glory of God illuminated it, and its lamp is the Lamb. The nations will walk in its light. The kings of the earth bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. Its gates will in no way be shut by day, for there will be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and the honor of the nations into it, so that they may enter. There will in no way enter into it anything profane, or one who causes an abomination or a lie, but only those who are written in the Lamb's book of life.